Hey everybody, it's me Chris. I'm back over here in the kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a great recipe that would be awesome for Super Bowl. So I'm going to take stromboli and calzone and I'm going to combine them and I'm going to make calzone pinwheels. Let me show you what I got. So I got here my pizza dough. This is my easy 12-inch pizza dough recipe. Go check out the video if you want to learn how to make that. I got some pecorino cheese. I got here just some diced ham, whatever kind you like. I got some mozzarella, and then I got some ricotta. I got some black pepper, fresh cracked black pepper, and I got a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. The first thing we're gonna do is we gotta stretch out our dough. Now I don't wanna use flour here. I'm just gonna use a little bit of olive oil on the board, just like that, so it don't stick, okay? And then we take our dough out, and you're gonna stretch this different than you would a pizza because we just want it to be nice and flat. We're not worried about trying to make a crust. All right, and turn it over to the other side and just flip it a few times and just keep stretching it. And then once you start to press it out a little bit, you start to pull the ends and you want to make a rough shape of a rectangle. All right, so this looks good. And again, it's a rough shape of a rectangle. It don't have to be perfect. And the first thing I'm going to do is put down my ricotta, and I've got here maybe about a half of a 16-ounce container, maybe a little bit more than half, but you can put however much you like. All right, I'm going to spread this out in an even layer. So I got my ricotta down. Now I'm going to put some fresh cracked pepper. All right, just like this. And I'm not using salt here because the cheeses are salty and we're using ham. So I'm just going to put the fresh cracked pepper. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I got some pecorino romano. I'm going to fresh grate that right over this. And now I got my mozzarella. All right, and the last thing we're going to put is the diced ham. And you could use whatever you want. You could use sausage. You could use some leftover meatballs. But again, I'm going for all the flavors of a calzone. So I'm using diced ham today. So I'm just going to wrap this. I'm going to start from this end and start to fold this over. All right, and you can pull it towards you a little if you want. Just do one side at a time. And you just want to make sure that it's nice and tight. And what you could do is kind of tuck the sides in a little bit. That'll probably help you hold it in a little bit better. All right, and then you keep rolling and rolling. And then look, when I get to the end, usually I'll take this end part and just pull it over, okay, just like that. And then you could just roll it a couple times and that'll help seal it. All right, and then what you could also do, if you want, you could roll this in some sesame seeds. That would be good. But today, I'm just gonna leave it plain. All right, so this looks great. It's nice and even, and that's really the important thing. You wanna make sure you have a nice even roll. And now all we gotta do is cut it. So what I like to use is, I'm gonna use my bread knife. And what you want to do to make sure that your pinwheels are even size is cut it in half first, okay? Just like this. And then cut each half in half, okay? So now I got 4 equal pieces. And based on the size, I mean, if you want these to be big, you could just leave them like that. I want to make them a little bit smaller. I want to make these little handhelds. All right, so I'm going to make 8. I'm going to cut each of these pieces in half. Now what we do is we put these onto my cookie tray, and I'm just using a regular cookie sheet, but I have one of these silicone non-stick mats. I like these, nothing can stick to it. And what you do is just pick them up like this and place them on there, and then you can press them down a little bit. And I'll do the same thing with each one. And look, if anything falls out, no problem, just put it right on top. All right, so I got my oven cranked up to 550. That's as high as it can go. So depending on your oven, you want to raise it up to the maximum temperature. I'm going to put these in to bake, and I'm just looking for them to be nice and golden brown. And the dough, I want to make sure the dough is fully cooked through. And I'll give you a tip on that. When you're making stromboli, anytime you're rolling up dough like that, it's really important. You want to make sure that your dough is at room temperature, nice and warm. And then also your ingredients, let them sit outside the fridge for about a half hour before you make this. It'll give you a much better bake, and it'll make sure that your dough is cooked through in the middle. Nobody wants to eat raw dough. All right, so these are done. These look great. And if the cheese spills out a little, just take your spatula, just tighten them up a little bit. We're gonna let these cool a little bit and then we'll try them. All right guys, so these are ready to go. I got some marinara sauce here to dip them in. I just want to show you what these look like. You see the bottom there, and you see the top, and I'll just cut this one open. Give you a cross section. You can see what that looks like. All right, time to try these. And again, I want to show you this close up. You can see that dough is cooked through, and that the key there is make sure your dough is at room temperature. And all you do is just give this a dunk. All right, so there you have it, guys. A little twist on a classic calzone. All the same flavors, but in a pinwheel form. Nice little handheld, and like I said, great thing to make for game day. These came out absolutely delicious. Forget about it. And hey, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you don't miss out on my other videos. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.